Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Ah, I'm not really sick. Yeah, but I'm sick of this stupid thing. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and it seems like I still have the will to make videos, it seems, eh? But I don't have the will to talk about this stupid fish. This is known as the chopper, a very common type of fish that you see throughout the Sonic series in many different forms. In fact, there's too many of them, as you can see in there. And I had many ideas on how to make this video originally. I was thinking on making it a music video about Eggman fishing and all that. And who knows, maybe I might do that in the future, but you know, at the moment I just want to get these fishes done. So why don't we start with the chopper? In fact, let's talk about all of these fish, because they are all the exactly same thing. Many of them have some different designs here and there, sure. Main example is, let's say, the jaws. The jaws is very different, it has more of a turbine in the back and all that, but you know, they serve the exact same purpose and they do almost the exact same thing. So I don't want to waste too much time on this video like I originally was gonna do. Well, I guess out of frustration, let's make this video, shall we? Alright, let's begin with the easier one, and this is a little bit why this video is gonna be very short. Not gonna lie, I don't know how short it is at the moment because I am just recording this, but wow, would you look at that? Is that short, editor? Well, let's talk about the main fish. So, I could very much talk only about the chopper and then move on into the other fish, but all of these fishes right here are the ones that are actually the same purpose and kind of the same design as the chopper. I'm still gonna go in a little bit about their design, but I'm probably not gonna spend too much time on it. So let's begin with the chopper, shall we? The chopper line has many uses, however they are limited only for underwater uses. But that does not stop them from catching land critters off guard. Having a strong metal jaw and sharp teeth, the chopper line focuses on capturing critters off guard. Catching critters in the water is an easy feat, but impossible on land, right? Not unless you're an Olympic fish! Choppers are known for having huge jumps, being more of a stealth capturer than a chaser. And we are going to be able to see that along many other of the chopper line, but there are some that are a little bit different enough. So with the chopper covered, what are the other fishes we're gonna also group together with the same usage? Well, along with the chopper, we have Jaws, pronounced with an S, different from Jaws, an enemy from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We have the flying chopper, Chop Chop, Masher, Gaboo, Mechanical Fish, and Nibbles, along with Bone Bata Bata. But anyways, we already covered the chopper, so what is Jaws? Well, Jaws is a little bit different than the original chopper. Jaws actually goes more underwater and it's not really capable of jumping, but they are still made for capturing critters. We're able to see that along its huge jawline and kind of huge mouth, kind of like a pelican, but not really a bird. And again, just like I mentioned before, this is a completely different enemy compared to the Jaws, who is an enemy that we're not going to be covering in here today because they're actually much different in usage comparing to the chopper. I don't know where they're going to go yet. We'll find out. Then now we have the flying chopper, which is essentially just a chopper, but the main difference is that it flies. And it doesn't really go underwater, but who knows, it's kind of still the same thing, but it flies. And now, remember when I said Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V? Well, that's exactly what the Masher is. There are still kind of some small differences to the Masher. We can see that mostly in the fins and all that, a little bit in the mouth, but it's essentially the same enemy and honestly very, very lazy. And then the Chop Chop is kind of the same thing as Jaws. Nothing really special about it, just a big fish that just goes underwater. The main thing to know is that Jaws before had more of a turbine, but Chop Chop It might be turbines, it could be small like little air rockets of some kind, but it has 2 on both sides, and thanks to that it goes a little bit faster. And then we have the Gabooboo, who is kind of the same thing. It's a very lazy fish design. It's from Sonic Labyrinth, so it actually has a little bit of a different purpose. Instead of capturing critters, it's more of a defense mechanism, but still kind of does the same thing as the Chopper. And it has a blue coloration, I guess, different than the Chopper. And then we have the mechanical fish, which is kind of a very interesting design. We're able to see lots of different things about it. It has like kind of energy fins about it. It has lots of metallic parts and lipstick. You're fabulous, yeah. But the mechanical fish still has the same idea of capturing critters, but it's a little bit more interesting on where it's found. You can find the mechanical fish in Big the Cat's missions. And why is it there? Well, let's not forget why Big the Cat is there himself, to get Froggy back. And why did Froggy run away? Well, it has a piece of chaos inside, so maybe Eggman kind of figured that out along the way, I don't know exactly, and might have sent the mechanical fish. Or it could be that the mechanical fish are completely unrelated to Froggy and are just there to capture critters to make more robots. So again, kind of the same thing as the Chopper, but there's still kind of like that different idea that could be going with it. And then here we kind of have a interesting one because I don't know the lore exactly of this game. I played the game to be able to see it in person and figure it out, but I don't know exactly if Nibbles is a creation of Dr. Eggman or Eggman Nega. Wow, what a horrible name. Don't take this out of context. But anyways, Nibbles are kind of the same things. It just leaps up and kind of falls down again, trying to bite on things. The main difference is that it's made out of bones, and yeah, I guess. And then lastly, we have the Bone Bata Bata. The Bone Bata Bata is actually kind of the same thing as the Chopper. The main thing is that it's actually visibly made out of bones. Probably not. Could very well be made out of metal of some kind. It's found in like exactly one level, and then it kind of just goes away. I had to get my friend to record this, and it was a really boring level, only to have a very boring use. Its main appeal though, what is it made for? Well, kind of still the same thing as the Chopper, but the main thing is that this guy is actually invincible, something that the Chopper is not. Whew, finally finished those boring Choppers. You know, I'm kind of sick of talking about the same thing, so let's talk about something new. Here we have the Mega Choppers. They still have the same function as capturing critters, but they had a size change, and judging from their name, they must have gotten huge. That's minuscule. Yeah, so even though they are called the Mega Chopper, they're actually pretty small for their name. But don't judge them by their size, they're actually very strong. Whenever the Mega Chopper latches onto Sonic, it will begin draining his ring count. The rings are kind of used as lives, so we can kind of assume that as it bites you, it's gonna be draining your stamina in some way. So kind of perfect for capturing critters, or at least preparing to capture them. Another thing to know about the Mega Chopper is that thankfully for its small size, it fits perfectly into Hydrocity zone. Hydrocity, Hydrocity, I'm not gonna make the same joke. Wait a second. But anyways, them being small actually really helps them in Hydrocity, mostly for the reason that they can probably fit into smaller areas that probably the normal Chopper or Jaws, any of those other fishes would not be able to fit into. And also kind of the biting thing. Yeah, you could have Chopper or any other fish just give one big bite and knock out their enemy, but I mean the Mega Chopper, the main thing is on their numbers. They're kind of like piranhas. Alright, and the next one we have is the Ototo. Now the Ototo is pretty much only the Gabooboo. Hey guys. It's me again. But this time, it's Dr. Juvenile from editing. Now, I made some stupid assumptions when I was writing the script, if you can call this a script. But the Ototo actually is much different than what you would imagine. You know what? You wanna make bets on what it does? Yeah, it's actually, you'd think I'd be mad after the Buzz Bomber from Sonic Chaos, but this time I feel mostly sad for the lack of originality that Eggman had. Okay, did you place your bets? Alright, so Toto actually only serves for getting hit by a Sonic and a cannon, and yeah. Well, I hope you'll enjoy the video, and I'm kind of disappointed at this one. And now here's another interesting one. We have the ghost whale. So the ghost whale is a huge fish. We can see from its design, it's absolutely enormous, almost the size of a iceberg. Speaking of icebergs, it can bite through it, so it's really, really strong. However, biting into the iceberg seems to still cause damages onto it, because whenever it does, it actually kind of gets stunned by it, giving Sonic an opportunity to go inside. You can see from inside there's lots of defense mechanisms and also lots of space, so this could very well be kind of some way to transport other Batniks, or perhaps just a storage type of deal. Additionally, there's something interesting about this one, is that inside there is another Batnik called the Green Fish. And yeah, they're only choppers. I didn't mention them before because they're only inside the ghost whale, so it's a little bit interesting, right? This video has been rotting in my computer for so long. Do you know how long ago I released my last video? Well, excluding the light switch. 1 year ago. I'm so sorry, everyone. I've been lazying around a lot, but I've been very busy. At least I didn't cancel it like Sonic Extreme. So Sonic Extreme actually has two possible Batniks that we could talk about. The first one is the Orca. Now, I wasn't able to find much footage of the Orca. Same thing with the other Batnik. However, the Orca is supposedly to appear within the ice level. Considering it's an Orca also, it probably would jump and would bite stuff, so it would make perfectly sense for it to be like a chopper. But again, we are not sure. Another thing to know about the Orca though is on its animation. Thank you very much, Sonic Retro, for compiling all of these. But we can see that for the Orca, when it opens its mouth, there's a little light that shines from it. So it could be that it actually isn't a chopper and it actually would shoot some sort of rockets or something like that. But there's not much concept art about it, and that makes it a little bit hard to determine. And again, I wasn't able to find it on the footage either. Supposedly, it appears on footage of the ice level, but I wasn't able to find it. If anyone finds it, well, go ahead and send it there in the comments. That would be great. The next one is the Piranha, and now the Piranha is a little bit more obvious that it's supposed to be Chopper / Jaws-like. So the thing about the Piranha is that on its animation we can see that it keeps on biting and it's very quick with it, so it probably would have the same capturing idea. Again, for Sonic Extreme, we can't tell. However, there comes the question. Is this a chopper, meaning that it jumps, or is it a Jaws? And that's where the question really becomes interesting about this. In my theory, the Piranha would most likely be a Jaws-like enemy because we can see the turbine in its back and it doesn't really seem like it would be capable of jumping. The same idea could come from the Orca actually. However, the Orca has more rockets in the back and that makes more sense to be a chopper-like, different than the Piranha. But with the fins and the way it is, who knows, maybe the Piranha could even fly, which would be similar to the Piranha from Sonic Chaotix. However, that would mean that it's not a chopper-like enemy. The Piranha, I have no idea if it appears on any footage, so like, if it appears and I'm completely wrong, let me know please, that would be very helpful. This is the 5th take I have done. I am sick of these fishes. So we're gonna end the video right here with these two last Batniks. First we have the giant chopper from Sonic Generations and also the Mosasaurus from Sonic Superstars. Both of them have pretty much the same function and are very similar in idea, so I'll just group them two together just so we're a little bit quicker. The giant chopper is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a giant version of the chopper. It has some very cool designs of it though. We can see such as the whiskers and the fins are much bigger. It's a very cool design. And then we have the Mosasaurus, which is actually more dinosaur-like. So you must be thinking, Juvenile, why did you put this with the choppers and jaws? Well, simple. It does the exact same thing. It may not be a fish, however, it does the exact same function that the giant chopper does. So, just to compress a little bit more, right? However, there is something very interesting about the Mosasaurus. Something that is kind of present in the other bosses from Sonic Superstars. However, it's something that it's more seen on the Mosasaurus. So, I noticed this ever since the trailer of the game released, which has been very long now. But the Mosasaurus, actually, if we look at its design, he looks like a very modern Sonic Batnik. Something you'd probably see in Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure 1, things like that. And we can see that mostly because of the eyes, the fins, the ways that the fins are made also. There's lots of things of the Mosasaurus that scream modern Sonic. So it's a little bit weird because it could represent that maybe Sonic is finally growing up and Eggman is also building up his machines to how they are in the modern era, but honestly, I wouldn't give Sonic Superstars too much credit. Alright, so let's talk about their functions now, shall we? Both of them have the exact same function, but with a little bit of different situations. Both of them are made for destroying structures of every kind. The giant chopper seems to break more of land and totems that are found, and bridges also here and there in Green Hills. And wait a second, the Mosasaurus does the exact same thing! Yeah, that's right, they're both boring, nothing much about them. However, with that everyone, we have finally finished all of these fishes. There are some fishes that I decided to not include also, such as the anglerfishes from Sonic Rush. Both of them, they might fit in with the same purpose, however, I think it would be more fitting to put them in their own category rather than add them in with the choppers and jaws. And that's another thing, this video is coming in a little bit later. In fact, I'm re-recording this for the sake of editing, just so I can make a better ending. And I've noticed that I made a lot of mistakes in the past videos in the form of not explaining information fully. So because of that, I want to kind of fix some mistakes that I kind of didn't address in the beginning of the video. This video has been made several times and it has just been on the back of my mind and I want to get rid of it so that I can continue with next projects, huh? So the main thing is that although the Jaws, Chopper, Masher, and the other one I can't remember the name of, although they are very different in what they do, they are still very similar to each other. And again, where would I include the Jaws and the other one? The Chop Chop, that's its name. Where would I include the both of them if not with the other fishes that they bite, right? And I've noticed that I kind of made the same mistakes on my Motobug and especially the Buzz Bomber video. And I kind of want to take the opportunity to fix them. So the next video, what I'll be planning on doing is just making a simple casual video where I'll be fixing and explaining some mistakes that I made on information on the past two videos. And if you have any questions about something that I wasn't clear about or something that didn't make sense at all to include a sad Batnik, then I'd be glad to answer them. And honestly, don't be afraid to say them. I'm open to criticism. It always makes sense, right? However, with that, man, I think I'm gonna go sleep. Wilson, you take it from here, okay?